Hello and welcome back to the TV show. So today we have a pretty interesting video. We're going to be getting 2 achievements as Lithuania. The first one is going to be lit, which is as Lithuania hold all the capitals of all your neighboring countries. So this is going to be hold the capital of Poland, Germany, and Estonia. We'll also be defeating the Soviet Union as well as all the Nordic nations and the rest of the Baltic nations so that we can get the achievement it has my name on it, which is as any Baltic state, conquer the entire shoreline of the Baltic Sea. We will of course be doing new game January 1st, 1936 start date, and choosing Lithuania. Real quick, you might be wondering why my map looks a little bit different. That is because I am running the FPS map mod, which just kind of changes how things look a little bit, and it is Iron Man compatible. Speaking of Iron Man mode, we will be using Iron Man mode, of course, as well as regular AI difficulty and historical AI focuses, because I kind of want to know what the AI is going to do. Now, Lithuania is a very small country, as you can see. We are surrounded by 3 great giants, which is Germany, the USSR, and Poland. We only really have to worry about 2 of them, which is the German Reich and the USSR. For starters, we're going to be doing our first focus, which is going to be reconvene the Seimas. This is just going to give us a little bit of stability, some political power, and it's going to allow us to get some political advisors. It also activates the mission, Iron Wolf Partisans, which will cause a coup in your nation if you don't deal with them quick enough. Okay, so for research, I'm just going to be showing you some very basic stuff. You absolutely need to get engineer company and you need civilian trains. I'm also going to be getting towed anti-air because I'm not going to have an industry for air. For my production, I'm going to be very quickly putting 1 factory on guns, 1 factory on support equipment, and eventually I'm going to have 1 factory on towed artillery. Okay, reconvene the Seimas is done, and we're now going to exile Voldemort. We're now going to be exiling Voldemort, which is going to get rid of some ground party support. We are dealing with agrarian society, which for recruitable population factor is devastating. It's negative 50%. Also gives us negative 3% consumer goods factories and a whole whopping negative 20% factory output. That is devastating to our economy. We also have underfunded military. This one is not so bad except for the land doctrine cost. That is kind of bad. And then we have the Seimas, which could be worse. First thing we're going to be doing is moving on to partial mobilization so we can get used to more factories. Okay, we have exiled Voldemort, and we're going to root out the Iron Wolf. This will get rid of that Iron Wolf threat. Civilian trains is done. This is very important. Get armored trains. Armored trains don't get bombed as much as civilian trains. We're not going to have a large industry against the Soviet Union, so it's a good idea to get them now. Plus, there's a little exploit thingy that you can do. And we now have no Iron Wolf threat. We're going to do Lithuanian preservationism. And now we'll do a king for our people. We are going to become a monarchy. Nice. So now that we have armored trains, we are going to be commandeering the civilian trains. And watch this. It's going to give us 15 armored trains instead of 15 civilian trains. Very, very useful, especially as a Baltic nation. We're going to be building some towed artillery now as well. And we now have a king. Sorta. He's just kind of in the background. And we're going to be doing a new noble class. This is going to give us a little bit more political power gain. It's going to give us a little bit of support for the unaligned by changing the Seima's national spirit. I'm also very quickly going to be getting a military chief of army so that we can get some taking in military experience. And I'm going to be getting maintenance company because of that equipment capture ratio. That is pretty good. And a new noble class is done. Let's establish the Royal Guards. And I'm now going to get industrial company so that I can get a little bit quicker industrial research. Let's abolish the presidency so that our king can become an actual leader. And for these divisions, these are actually really, really good. I believe they are 8 twos, so 8 divisions of infantry and 2 divisions of artillery. So we're going to be using these to punch a hole in through the Baltic nations and take all of their capitals. This is a perfect opportunity for you to learn how to micro. Whenever I see someone that has that war hero emblem, I always like just to not have them. They don't gain as much experience as quickly, so I like just making a new general. Also, I'm going to be having them get this defensive doctrine because now, instead of 1 defense, Paradox has changed it to be max entrenchment plus 30%. That is insane. There is no way Paradox is going to keep that this long. And we have a new president. We are going to claim Livonia. This is going to give us cores on all Estonian and Latvian states. It's also going to give us 2 annex war goals against them. Look at that hat. Okay, we have claimed Livonia. So now let's support some monarchists in Poland. And we'll be going to war with Latvia. Rush through the center as hard as we can. We're going to be force attacking this. Rush all the other victory points with my other units. They're nowhere near as strong. They are missing manpower. They are missing equipment. These guys are more to pin and encircle, if I can. And now that I have captured a dockyard, I'm just going to be building convoys. Push, push, push. We have made a little encirclement. Let's see if we can clean this up real quick. Okay, keep pushing, keep pushing. We have supported monarchism, so now we're going to be doing the nation and its power. This is going to give us royal powers, which gives us daily political power gain of 0.05 and war support of 15%. Nice, annex all, take their fleet. We are going to be making a spy agency. Continue the war in Estonia, same thing, use those 4 units to push. Keep rushing, they will not survive for long. Honestly, the second war is much easier than that first war. Nice, same thing, just annex everything. They don't have a fleet I can take, that's fine. And now we're going to be pushing some monarchism support in Poland. Just click these decisions whenever they're available. You need, I believe it is 75 support, with each decision giving you a base between 10 and 15. I'm going to switch over all of my units over to just an 18th width pure infantry division. Nation's power is done. And we're going to be doing Reski's military reforms. This is going to give us a couple generals, some army experience, and a field marshal. Also, I'm going to be putting my new Soviet spies on the Soviet Union. We're going to be making a collaboration government so that we can capitulate the Soviet Union much, much quicker. And for my doctrine, I'm going Grand Battle Plan. The reason for that is because of that max entrenchment of +10. That is really good. I'm going to get another spy. Also, I'm going to be having this small arms company so they can research weapons and equipment much faster. Just keep on clicking these decisions. Yes, I do want a Polish general. And now we're going to be doing royal reforms. This is going to replace the underfunded military with a competent military. And we have another spy. They're not a Soviet spy, so I'm just going to leave them inside Lithuania. And I'm going to prepare a collaboration government with them. Royal reform is done. Now I'm going to be doing the Kingdom of Poland. This is going to give Poland a civil war. Nice. Engineer Company 2. I'm going to be going bold attack. This is going to give us a 50% chance of a +1 attack on level up for our generals. And static warfare because max entrenchment +10%. Okay, Poland has entered a civil war. And I'm going to be doing no focus because the civil war ends very quickly. There we go. They are now in a personal union with us. So what we're going to be doing is annexing that personal union via Restore the Commonwealth, and we're going to be getting cores on all of them. Commandeer trains once again. The Commonwealth has been restored, and we're going to now purge the popular resistance. Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth has been restored. I'm going to queue up 31 new divisions. I'm going to bring all my new divisions and spread them out through my 3 armies and put them on the border with Soviet Union. We're going to move our capital to a new place, which is very much closer to the border, but it'll give us a bit of stability, which is nice. Also, as soon as these units are done, I'm just going to be force deploying them. These tiny 4-division units, I'm just going to make about 40 of them because these guys are going to be guarding our ports. The Soviet Union will navally invade you. They will do it dozens of times. So it's a great idea to just have a bunch of little spammy units that can surround and encircle and keep your port safe. Now that we have purged the popular resistance, doing this rejoin the railways. This is going to give us an infrastructure inside every core state that we have. It's a good idea to wait to do this focus until after you've taken Poland, just so you can get a bunch of free infrastructure. But you can do this beforehand as well if you want. We're going to be adding engineer company onto our divisions, as well as support artillery and support anti-air. This is a little expensive, but we'll eventually be able to afford it. And we're now going to modernize our industry. This is going to modify that agrarian society, giving us back plus 25% of our recruitable population, giving us -4 consumer goods and factory output of plus 15%. I'm going to be getting a couple of army advisors for our military staff, and I will be getting grand battle plans so that we can get some max planning plus some daily command power gain. That command power is going to be very important at the beginning of this war. Let's also get professional army corps. Going to be continuing building military factories. Nice, Germany has demanded memo. Give it to them. You have to. If you don't, they will get a war goal on you, and even if you have a non-aggression pact with them, they will eventually break the non-aggression, and they will declare war on you. You can't fight both Germany and the Soviet Union at once. Just give it to them. What's funny is once you take Poland freely, it bypasses the German Danzig focus. So the world's about to get a little bit weird. And we're going to be claiming Greater Lithuania. It gives us a bunch of cores inside the USSR, but most importantly, it gives us a war goal on the Soviet Union itself. And I'm going to be adding this maintenance company. Nice, just continue doing these collaboration governments. This is going to make your war with the Soviet Union 10 times easier. And I'm not going to be using this field marshal at all during this war with the Soviet Union, so I'm just going to use him as a port guard. I changed up that port guard division just to be pure infantry, just 4 divisions, very small. Make sure you're exercising your army. That is also a very good, important thing to be doing. I'm going to get the Force Brothers. This is going to give us a 10 plus defense and attack on core territory, which we're just going to be fighting on core territory for the first year or so. So that's pretty good. And declare a war on the Soviet Union. This is going to give a 1% up for the world tension. That is stupid. Soviet Union will hit us very hard. You will lose a couple of state tiles. It's just inevitable, especially when the Soviet Union is smacking straight into you. I'm going to be upping my conscription level so I can get some more manpower. And I'm going on to war economy. The Germans have declared war on Luxembourg. World War II has started. By the way, they have not taken all of Czechoslovakia. Their focus bypassed. Just spam out last stand, do what you can. We're going to be utilizing this domestic film industry so that we can get 10 base war support. They've lost almost 400,000 and we've lost less than 90k. Let's get this logistics wizard. Nice, the Forest Brothers. This is going to make it a lot easier to defend and then retake our territory. And let's get a reminder of the true enemy, which I guess we remember who our true enemy is already because we're at war with them. France has capitulated and Czechoslovakia is still alive. I told you, the world gets very weird. Another Soviet naval invasion up in the north. We can very quickly clean this up. Okay, let's get prepared defense. This is going to give us a plus 10% defense and plus 10 organization for all infantry. And that is the last doctrine that we'll be doing in Grand Battle Plan. For now, just save your military experience. A reminder of the true enemy. You can do for the Germans, but I'm just going to do the Soviet Union because this is going to give us a few more forts. And now let's get developed natural resources. There we go, we have a 90% collaboration in the Soviet Union, so now we're just going to keep our spies on the border. Thank you, USA, but no thank you. More radio propaganda. Okay, we have developed the natural resources, which has gotten rid of that debuff agrarian society. And we're now going to get patriotic education. This is going to give us a recruitable population factor of 10%, as well as stability, and land doctrine cost of negative 10%, which is pretty good. I'm just going to be making some very small pushes, planning some small encirclements, but I'm not going to be making my greater assault just yet. Guys, this is an excellent opportunity to learn how to make encirclements and how to micro. You don't need to push all your forces right now. The Soviets are going to be pushing against you pretty hard, but you also have very strong units. Just look for strategic advantages, see if there's an opportunity to encircle, and if there is, try to take it. The less Soviet divisions on the field, the better. Okay, so we have to do Soviet mutual assistance in order to get victory and trust, which is much better than strength and unity. Because Poland no longer exists. So let's sweeten up with the Soviets, even though we are killing them. Soviets are making another major push. That's fine, Soviet Union, I can beat you. Another nice little encirclement. Going to be making another big encirclement here over near Bessarabia. It's a good idea to try to manually take Bessarabia before the Soviets claim it, just because that's some free land for you. Finland has rejected the Soviet demands. And I'm going to be pinning here so that I can make this encirclement. Romania has joined the Axis. They're going to be giving away Bessarabia very soon. So I need to very quickly wipe out this encirclement that I just made. Nice, not bad. More little encirclements, again at Minsk. They have retaken it, and that's fine. The Soviets have almost lost 3 million, and I've lost 300,000. My conquest of Bessarabia is going quite well. Just make encirclements as you go down. Another little opportunity for an encirclement right here. And at this point, I don't think the Soviets are going to be able to push me, so I'm going to move on to superior firepower. We got a bunch of doctrine debuffs, so that's really nice. Just go down as much of the street as you can. And I'm just going to full-on assault the Soviet Union. At this point, I feel pretty confident. Let's see how much we can take. Let's get this army logistics. Nice. We have pretty much freed all of Bessarabia, so once the Romanians give it to the Soviets, then we'll just take it for ourselves. So now we're going to be doing state media. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. The Soviet Union is so easy at this point. Going to be adding more units. These troops are specifically just to retake Bessarabia once it's given to the Soviet Union. We have lost almost 400,000, and they have lost over 3 million. Okay, now we will be doing Beyond the Baltic, which is going to get the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth 6 guarantees. Guys, we have a chance to get guaranteed by the United Kingdom here. And we're going to be boosting relations. You want the relations to be as high as you can possibly get it. If it's low, UK will say no. If it's higher, you have a much better chance of them saying yes. In 4 of my test games, I did not boost relations twice, and in 2 of the other games I did. In both games where I did not, the UK said no. In both games I did, the UK said yes. So boost it. Soviet Union is very close to capitulation, so I'm just going to stop attacking. Okay, well, I'm gonna take Moscow, but that's it. I'm gonna stop attacking. And I'm going to build a bunch more divisions. Let's integrate the opposition, and let's quickly clean up the south. The Polish have been guaranteed by the United Kingdom. We are safe. So we'll be justifying a war goal on Denmark. Okay, I'm gonna keep these 5 units here just so that the Soviets don't push me again. Let's get an airplane designer and an air support guy so that we can get some taking air experience. Let's also start researching air so that when we go to war with Germany, we can have a competent air force. We have integrated the opposition. So let's get a corporatist economy. This is going to give us consumer goods of -2%. When we're done with our focus tree, we will have consumer goods of 0. That is amazing. Okay, I will be adding 1 artillery onto all of my divisions because we can afford it. And I am now done with my military doctrine. The Germans have declared war on the USSR. Finland has joined the Axis. That's beautiful. And let's get this agricultural capitalist because he's going to give us -5% consumer goods. Okay, declare war on Denmark. They will join the USSR in the Comintern. Let's justify a war goal on Norway. They have joined the Comintern. The Germans will very quickly clean up for us. The corporatist economy is done. We will now be exploiting the international bank so that we can get a further 3% consumer goods factories. And I'm going to be making a bunch more divisions. These guys are going to be used to invade Sweden. We have exploited the international bank. Let's renew allied trade so we can get a further -5% consumer goods. Japan has declared war on the Philippines. The USA is going to be joining the war. Just gonna make a bunch of cavalry divisions. These guys are going to be used for my garrison duties. Declare war on Norway. They will also join the Comintern. And start justifying on Sweden. They unfortunately will not join the Comintern. Nice, we have renewed allied trade. Honestly, at this point, you can do any focus that you want. I do highly recommend that you move down to invite British designers because these designers are pretty good. So that's what I will be doing. And because I'm having massive issues with resources, I'm going to be moving down to limited exports. Nice, so we got the majority of our factories back. We now have an economy again. I'm just going to force deploy these units, and I'm going to be selecting 10 of them to navally invade Sweden with. You have to beat Sweden before you beat the USSR, because after you beat the USSR, Sweden will always join the Allies. And I don't want to fight all the Allies just to get Sweden. So we will be capitulating Sweden first, taking all of their land, and then we will finish off the Soviet Union. For my air doctrine, I like to get battlefield support. It is very, very good for CAS. We're at war with Sweden now. Declare war. And whenever you can, launch your naval invasion. It's going to take a little while, but eventually you will get naval supremacy. And just pretty much march across. Sweden is very easy. Okay, they have almost capitulated. Ooh, so close, so close. And I'm now going to be assaulting the Soviet Union because Sweden's gonna fall any second now. Just take everything, including their fleet. And I'm going to be switching over to this air designer because it is much better. Look at that, -2% consumer goods. Even though that designer costs an extra 1% consumer goods, we're still doing really good. Nice. Soviet Union has capitulated. My game would crash every time I would try to do anything else, so I'm just going to annex everything. And I'm going to prepare a bunch more units to defend my shoreline. No, I'm just going to keep everything. Going to have dive bombing and continuous strike for my Spirit of the Air Force. More military factories, and I'm just full on researching airplanes right now. Also, I'm recruiting German spies instead of Soviet spies. And I'm going to be switching over onto a new design. I'm going to be justifying a war goal on Vichy France, which it seems like I'm not the only one. The UK and the USA have the same idea. Let's build our first plane. I'm a big fan of this design. It's not too expensive, and it just shoots things down. And for my CAS, I like to have speed, and just a whole bunch of bomb bays. I like to make sure I build my airplanes first, my fighters first, and then my CAS second. More CAS than fighters. I don't need this many factories to be on artillery and on sport equipment, on trucks, on towed anti-air, so I'm just going to be deleting all of those and putting those on my Air Force. Ooh, we are going to need a lot of rubber. Okay, let's join this war. We're going to be joining the Allies. They will kick us out, unfortunately. That's fine because I will be rejoining whenever they send me the opportunity. I'm going to be using these units, and I'm going to very quickly take these Polish states right here. I'm going to move on to service by requirement. I need a lot more manpower. I'm going to launch this Air Force of mine. And let's get technology sharing. This is going to give me another research slot. You can only do that focus when you're in a faction. Nice, we've encircled the entire German army that was in this area. Let's wipe them out. I'm going to be joining all of the Allies' wars because Finland, just for some reason, would not join the war against me. Germans are making some pretty strong pushes, but we're holding. Let's continue down our battlefield support air doctrine. Ooh, look at that damage. That is insane. That is actually insane. Nice, Finland is gone. The Germans have lost almost 2 million thanks to us. And we've lost just under 300,000. Our generals have so many medals. I forgot about the front with Japan, so I'm going to be spamming out a bunch of these units just to kind of hold the line. And just hold. Nice. The Germans are losing a lot of manpower. I'm gonna prepare a collaboration government on them. Germany, Germany, Germany. They've taken like 3 tiles, I think. This is insane. The Germans are now on all adult serve, and they have almost no manpower. I'm going to be pushing. This is going to be difficult. We're going to lose a lot of manpower, but eventually we'll beat the Germans down. We'll just move very, very slowly. Eventually the German lines will just collapse because they don't have the manpower. We just got to really get to that point. Okay, we moved a little bit. We are just outside Berlin. I'm just gonna let the Germans now bash against me, and as soon as they're done, I'm going to counter assault when their org is very low. Okay, let's go. Yalla. Ooh, the Battle of Berlin. We have taken it. Nice. And now I will do the Greater Commonwealth. When you get the chance, do this focus. It gives you a bunch more cores. I've encircled this massive German army up here in the north. Oh, this is disgusting. Gonna take this port so they can't run away. Man, I love to see it. I love to see it. That was like 2 armies worth. Oh my god. 8.5 million Germans have died versus the 2 million Polish Lithuanians. Let's keep pushing. Again, this is going to be very costly to us, but I'd like to end the war before 1945. The Germans have no manpower, and they aren't scraping the barrel, so they are producing pretty much nothing as well. Because I want to invade the Soviet Union as well, I'm going to be building a bunch of naval bases there. And then hooking up those naval bases to my main line via railroad. Nice, Germans have capitulated. Paris has been liberated. I'm going to be making a bunch of these really good divisions I have there. 40 wits, 4 artillery battalions, and the rest are infantry. I'm going to be invading from Kamchatka, and I'm going to be making an army of 24. These guys are going to be my anti-Japan task force. Oh, by the way, I was kicked out of the Allies. So, going to be asking for docking rights, and they will say yes. I'm going to move my tiny fleet right over to Kamchatka, and I'm going to use them to navally invade Japan. But first I have to ask the US of A if they will give me permission to have docking rights, and of course they will. Mussolini is dead. Just keep marching straight across. We have almost won World War II for the Allies. Gonna transfer over that occupied territory. Just have to beat oh, there we go. Nice. Just take everything you can. You absolutely have to take those states that are on the Baltic Ocean. Baltic Sea, of course. We have gotten all of the capital states of all of the enemy nations that surrounded us, which was going to be Latvia, Poland, and Germany. We also have conquered the entire shoreline of the Baltic, giving us It Has My Name on it. But really quick, I have to do something. I cannot just let Japan live. So I navally invaded them. They were very, very, very easy. By the way, I also rejoined the Allies, and I took over the entire faction. So now the UK can't kick me out. Nice. What? Yeah, that's it. Have a good rest of your day.